I come from Berlin, and I'm one of the residents here, the creative residency of Tanzplan Dresden. Well, I worked as a dancer before I started to do my own work. So I worked with really in a dance company, like in New York. I lived for 9 years in New York before moving to Berlin, and so that was more an abstract dancing company. Not so much theatrical dance. Her name is Gina Gibney Dance, and then different people in New York. And then I worked also with people who come more from visual art work, so it's more formal movement, like Robert Wilson I did a piece with, and some other people. So my background wasn't so much, a little bit of the German Tanztheater too. I worked with Reinhold Hoffmann, I don't know if you know. I didn't really work with text before I started my own work, is what I'm trying to say. And then I started to do my own work in 2003 or 4. And
from Berlin?
In New York still. And then I moved, a year later, I moved to Berlin. I still work with people frequently from New York too. It gets difficult to always fly them over for a project. Yeah. But I was trying to do that also, or I'm still trying to every once in a while. And I just started to really soon be interested in language too, and text. And so I'm now working with language and movement and trying to mix the two and find different ways to mix them and to work with movement, maybe not coming so much from a dance place, but more from an acting place. And then I also teach a body work in Berlin called Klein Technique, developed by a woman in New York called Susan Klein. Yeah, you know her?
Yeah, of course.
You know them?
Yeah.
Oh.
Can I put my hand on your belly? No. Can I put both my hands on your shoulders? Soft?
On this particular piece that we sort of used the residency to develop tools to then build a piece from when we continue in Berlin. And the title is Bitte streicheln Sie hier, which for people who don't speak German, it's please touch me here, or would you stroke me here? It's kind of a bad translation, but it's difficult to translate because it's also playing with this Sie form and the Du form, which doesn't exist in English. So Sie is like a more formal way to address the other person. So it's already in this title, this thing of I'm addressing somebody formally, but I'm asking for something very personal.
Exactly.
And that's a lot what this piece is about, I guess, the negotiation of something that you would hope maybe you wouldn't have to negotiate so much,
or ask for.
Or ask for, exactly. But
soft. I can do firm, I can do hard. Do you like hard?
Questioning maybe in subtle ways, like in everyday relationships and love relationships. One question for me is how much ego and mirroring, wanting to be mirrored by the other in a way that I want to see myself, rather than really connecting to the person, or that's like the range maybe. That, what does it mean to really connect with the person, and when does it start to be only about myself, and what's in between those two extremes. That's kind of the range we're playing with in this piece. We're playing a lot with negotiation of physical touch, using a lot of physical touch, though we did a lot of physical improvs, but they weren't in a place to actually show them. That was more like developing tools to play with and stuff. And we also played with words, literal negotiation.
What do you want?
Can you bend over?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Not really.
For this piece began in Berlin. We did already work 2 weeks, and then we had a break. I like to do that because then I can reflect a little bit on what we did and continue working from a different place and when we come back. But this residency specifically, I didn't so much work on continuing the development of the piece, but more on a bigger, like developing language or tools for us, also getting to know us as a new team, so that when we come back to Berlin, we can continue to work on the piece. I mean, it's kind of all one, but it was good to have a very specific goal for this.
Yeah, I can do that.
Hold your breath.
Yeah.
Do you feel me?
No. Yeah, now I do. I'm feeling you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you feel good.
Did that surprise you?
He's in the Ufer Studios in Berlin, which is this new place for dance in Berlin. It's a new theater space, and we're premiering on September 16th and having shows until the 19th. Yeah, soon. And then another show on the 26th of September. So.